Hello everyone, and welcome to the first gameplay video for Belladonna. This is a short indie point-and-click adventure game. The time to beat on this is roughly an hour. It'll probably take me a couple of videos. Type of gameplay is going to be normal. There's no difficulty setting. We're not collecting anything special, just normal items in the game. And as you can see, there's no real settings of any kind, just new game and exit game. This is a completely mouse-driven game, so you don't need keyboard or anything like that, just a mouse. Basically left and right click, I think, do the same thing, but basically left clicking. So we'll watch the opening cutscene here, and then I'll go over any controls and UI stuff. So here we go. It's alive.
Physical sensation. Pain? I'm alive? That's odd. I don't feel alive. What's going on? I have no memories of anything before this point in time. My mind is tabula rasa, yet I have a language. I seem to be in some laboratory of sorts. Maybe I can find out what happened if I look around.
Okay, that was a lot. Alright, so as I mentioned, there's not a whole lot to the controls here. You just click where you want to go, and she tippy toes over there. Down here we have two things we can click on here: the show and this journal. I think I've only played this game once and it's been a good while. I think this is our inventory, possibly, maybe for notes, I'm not sure. But it's for storing something, which we will learn. When you click show, it pops open this little bitty window down here, and you can hide it. This may actually be where the items go. But well, it's, you know, we have to pick up items. It's an adventure point and click. So yeah, Belladonna, or deadly nightshade, is a toxic plant. Eating the berries from the plant can cause delirium and hallucinations. I put a link in the description to Wikipedia on Belladonna if you want to look it up. It's where the game gets its name from. So that pretty much covers anything I have to say about it. I think this developer has only made this game. It may look like it's set up like a hidden object game, but it's not really a hidden object game. Alright, got a bookshelf. So you just look for things that have a tooltip, and then you can get more information on them.
My very first memory is waking up on this thing. Before that, nothing. I wonder what I am.
You're some kind of a wind-up girl. I don't know how you could get any sleep. How could you even lay down with that thing on your head? And she's also got spikes coming out of her, like, top of her wrists, like on both hands. It's pretty rough.
My very first memory is waking up on this thing. Before that, nothing.
Okay.
I wonder what I am.
Iron Maiden.
A torture device turned into a strange machine. What kind of place is this?
It's a science lab, lady. Yeah, these things, they open up like a closet door and there's spikes in them. I think, like, I don't know, I think you can close it and you don't necessarily get impaled but it's more of a thing of you have to keep standing on your own physical ability. And if you lean forward or slump or pass out, then you're going to get impaled somewhere, falling down. I think that's how they work. I don't know. I don't want to find out how they work, but I think that's the way they work.
Books. A lot of natural philosophy and chemistry. Something by an M.W. Shelley.
Okay. So we got a journal page, a toolbox. I thought that was a bag. Guess let's pull the switch.
Now is not the time.
When is the time? Guess when we trap somebody ourselves on this thing, and then we can give them some juice.
There's a handwritten note here. Maybe it can shed some light on my situation.
Oh, wow. I have to read this? Okay. Wolfram von Trarschloss? Okay. It is with shaking hands and heavy heartbeats. I gather before me the instruments of my last desperate attempt. I find myself on the threshold of my toils, a turning point, for should I fail tonight, I doubt I shall find the strength and resolve to continue. At my feet now lays the lifeless remains of my beautiful Belladonna. A few hours ago, my wife was alive and well, and now she has been cut open, dissected, altered, and artificially reconstructed. From the second she gave up her final breath, I have worked tirelessly to preserve and prepare her corpus, that I might infuse a spark of being back into her lifeless limbs. This is the final test of all my research and experimentation, the past 5 years. The complete revivification of a human being, body and soul. The anxiety I feel is agonizing, but I cannot let it hinder me from carrying out what I must do, for my own sake and for hers. This procedure must not fail. In my feverish dreams, my wife appears as such a lovely creature, so far removed from this creation before me. Her cheeks, once so full of laughter, are now pale almost to the point of transparency, with the skin stretched so thin over the cranium it threatens to rip at any moment. Her eyes would shine like the night sky, but are now empty, watery, and yellowish. I have to cling to my conviction that she will regain her former grace and vitality once she is brought back to the realm of the living. Her eyes will light up with the flame of life, a Promethean flame stolen from the very gods. From this night on, man shall be the master of his own destiny, and God shall no longer be above us. As I write, the engines of life are finally heating up, the last of the preparations coming into order. The crucial moment is ever approaching. The time has come. Success. The attempt was a success. She's alive. Okay, it's a journal entry. Hence the journal. Okay. So does that mean we're going to get 7 more? And like, what's these other things here? Maybe this is where our shotgun will go when we get a shotgun. Okay. Anything else to look at?
There's a screwdriver in this toolbox. Better take it.
Smart girl. See? We're in a horror game, essentially. A slight horror game situation here. And even she's smart enough to realize you take a screwdriver. Flat head, Phillips head, no head, it doesn't matter. If it's a screwdriver, even if it's just the handle, and it's a horror situation, you always take it. Alright, we can't open any of those drawers. Galvanic experiment. Okay.
It looks like the legs of a frog hooked up with wires. And I'm pretty sure it moves when I'm not watching.
Gross. Guess we're not going to get a close-up of it.
A human skull or a paperweight?
Both. brain in a jar.
It's a brain in a jar. I wonder what it's thinking.
What is this? Like, these are chains, but this is like a skeleton of something, or I don't know what that is. Gargoyle.
That is one ugly gargoyle. Looks like a George to me.
Tank.
I have no idea what's inside of this, but it glows.
I don't know. Bone saw. Hope we can take that.
Ooh, surgical tools. Shiny.
Nice. Anything else? What was that? Vial of oil.
This oil looks expensive. Let's waste it.
Let's waste it. Okay. Look over here one more time. It's like one of those witch doctor masks back here on a frickin' crate or something. Whatever that is, I can't take it. Looks like a scalpel. So considering there is a switch in here that we can interact with, I hope that means we get to fry somebody on this. Because I'm sure we've been fried multiple times. So yeah, you see our inventory. I'll keep it hidden for now, I suppose. Yeah, the right mouse click moves you as well. Does it make you interact? No.
I'll call it Uric.
Yorick the skull.
A human skull or a paper.
You have to left click to get the dialogue. You can right click to cancel it, but you can right or left click to move her, apparently. And you can't double click to run or nothing. She just kind of does her little thing. What if we press escape? What happens? Game is paused, continue or exit. Okay. There's no settings whatsoever. And considering the game is not super long, don't have to save either, I guess.
The door won't budge. It seems to be barred from the other side. I might be able to unscrew these hinges, though.
Well, good thing that we got a screwdriver.
The screws on these hinges are rusty and stuck. I need some lubricant to loosen them up.
Well, good thing we got some oil.
I smeared some oil on the rusty screws.
Nice.
That should loosen them up.
Now we can unscrew it. Oop.
I'm free.
Not yet, you're not. Free of that room, not of this place. Is this guy gonna, like, come alive?
What a dedicated knight to guard a damp dungeon like this. Maybe he was demoted. Maybe he likes the dark. Maybe he's secretly a poet. I bet his name is Roland.
Journal page.
Another piece of paper. This was written long before the last one.
Oh man. Work is going great. Kept a rat alive for 1 hour and 26 minutes last night. We'll move on to larger mammals within the week. I find my life more and more polarized into two phases. I remember times when I used to climb up and down the stairs like a squirrel each day. But now I spend most of my time, and indeed most of my thoughts, down here in my laboratory, only to step upstairs at night to sleep. It is warmer upstairs in the living area, but it is boring and understimulating. Down here is where I make progress. Down here is what matters. And as I lay awake beside my sleeping wife, I often wish I was down here with my experiments. Belladonna grows increasingly distant, ever since that fateful night when our baby Lucas gave up his last breath. She has lost all traces of her old self. God knows what she is thinking about, and she silently gazes into the empty air or restlessly paces back and forth in the great hall. I, at least, am working with my grief. I have turned my attention to the sciences of life and death, and not a day goes by when I do not think of how my son was ultimately taken from me. This is the thought that drives me in this, the greatest of ambitions. My own son will never return. I have accepted that now, but thanks to me and my work, the cold, ruthless contrast between living and dead will in the future be much softer, maybe even completely erased. My wife, though, has let our grief devour her whole. She is emotionally and intellectually paralyzed, it seems to me. All her creativity and quickness of thought, the wittiness of her speech, and the nimble way she used to jump from one conclusion to the next. All those qualities that made me fall in love with her in the first place, they have all been snuffed out like the flame of a candle. This makes me wonder even more why I bother to go up to her bed every night. The shell in which she has enclosed herself cannot be breached by anything I say or do. It is almost as though she is involved with someone other than me. I feel ridiculous for even writing it down. No! It seems ludicrous to think that Belladonna's disinterest in me is due to her seeing another man. I will not accuse her of that. It is just one of the many strange ideas that seem to appear in my head when I am down here by myself. I'm probably just tired. I'd better try and get some sleep as soon as this rat's heart stops beating. Okay. Okay. There's a bed.
It looks like someone has been sleeping quite a lot in this sorry excuse for a bed, and it was hardly the suit of armor. But why would someone choose to sleep down here? More writings from the lonely doctor.
Curse my miserable existence, the hopelessness from which I see no conceivable escape. I cannot rid myself of feeling that there is something of utmost importance that I need to take care of, but that it is not yet time, that something beyond my control needs to be completed first. I carry inside me a sensation of waiting, yet I cannot name the thing I'm waiting for. In the meantime, all I can do is work. I do make progress, but at an excruciating, slow rate, and nothing I accomplish seems to calm the anxiety in my head. I sleep only a few hours every night, and cannot remember my last hot meal. I am feverish and jump at the smallest of sounds. What is that I am missing? I'm spending more and more time down here with my research. I only occasionally go upstairs to sleep in the master bedroom. Most nights I sleep, if at all, in a makeshift bunk I have constructed in the cellar. It is not as comfortable, but my research is at a point where it oftentimes requires my constant attention, and comfort is not my priority. I'm certain I am advancing ever closer to a significant breakthrough, but it is as though I am powerless to control or even affect the rate of its occurrence. And on top of this, I cannot rid my mind of the idea that Belladonna has forgotten me and taken a new lover, a new man in her life, someone more lively than me, perhaps, someone who can still look at life with joy and optimism, to match her own, by grave tragedy, unaffected humor. Yet who would that be? I can remember friends we used to have. In my memory, our wedding was a crowded and festive event, but it has been years since this castle has been seen any visitors. I have no time for social obligations, and Belladonna seems to have given up on everything that is pleasant in life. I suspect the castle is in an undesirable condition as well. Almost all of the staff has left us. We are down to one girl who dusts the cupboards and lights the fireplaces, but I don't see much of her either in these days. For all I know, she might be gone as well. There cannot possibly be a man in Belladonna's life apart from me. Okay.
Another locked door. Let's take a peek through.
Well, lucky us.
It's the key I'm after. I can't reach it with my hands. I wonder what I can invent to retrieve it.
Take that thing off of your head. Maybe you can use it. Screwdriver?
The screwdriver is too short.
Bone saw?
It's the key I'm after. I can't reach it with my hands. I wonder what I can invent to retrieve.
I want you to use this.
It's the key I'm after.
Okay.
I can't reach it.
Alright. Back. Well, we need something. Let's go back down and look, I guess. Stick that I just completely,
There's a long stick here. Perhaps it was used to try to chase away rats when trying to sleep.
maybe. It's too preoccupied with everything else. Walked right past it.
Another locked door. Let's take a peek through.
See, look at her head. The twisty thing is on the back. Like, there's no way she could lay flat on something. Okay, use the stick on the key.
The stick is long enough to reach the key, but how will I grab it?
I don't know. Use the bone saw on the stick.
I'm content with the length of this stick.
Okay. So I need more than just the stick? I can't go any further there.
Hello, Roland.
So did I miss? Maybe I can cut. It's not a hot spot though. Maybe I missed something in here.
It never moves when I look at it, but it just sort of twitches in my periphery. It's a brain in a jar. I wonder what it's thinking.
Poke it with the stick.
Interesting, but no.
Why not? So I need to do something.
The toolbox is empty.
I need to do something with this stick. Oh. There's a magnet here.
I love magnets.
Can we put that on the stick?
Look, I can attach the magnet to the end of the stick.
Okay, however you managed to do that. Okay, so there's a little magnet there. I should have looked better. Alright. Let's hope that key's magnetic.
Another locked door. Let's take a peek through.
Right.
Let's hope this works. Haha. Just as planned.
Yoink.
I got the basement key.
Okay. Use it. More notes.
More letters. Has he figured it out yet?
I see now that my suspicions have been well grounded, albeit aimed in the wrong direction. Belladonna is not seeing another man. She is seeing a woman. I am convinced that it must be that maid, Claire, or whatever her name might be. She and Belladonna are up to something. I'm sure of it. And to think of all the hours I'm stuck down here, caught up in my dreadful work, leaving them free to roam and left to their own devices upstairs. Of course, they have found each other. Only living things in this whole castle besides me and my week-long rabbits. Okay. They have it all figured out. When I come up at night, they act all innocent, keeping their mutual secret from me as a playful game. But as soon as I descend into the laboratory, they're in each other's arms again. But what can I do? The progression of events are beyond my control, just like my work. I slave away in my ghoulish endeavor, making progress every hour but never getting anywhere. And simultaneously, Belladonna is slipping away from me. Further and further for every night, and yet nothing ever changes. Should I confront them, storm up there hoping to catch the two in the act? Take back the life that was mine, the wife that was mine? No. I have no reason for my silly suspicions, no evidence whatsoever, merely a thought stuck in my brain refusing to leave. So I remain passive as always, and each new day is one more where I am unable to make an action, unable to change my wretched situation. Well, we already know Belladonna's looking pretty good, so if Claire's looking alright, you know? And you can see the spikes real close now. Trying to get her to walk.
This is the nail from which I skillfully lifted the basement key.
Okay. Just wanted to see a back shot of her head here. And then the front. It's pretty crazy apparatus that she's got to wear on her head.
A couple of cogwheels on the floor. They must have fallen off the mechanism when the door slammed shut. I wonder if I can put them back.
Okay, we got a medium gear, a small, medium gear, small cogwheel, and a big gear. Oops, don't want to go that way.
Nothing happens.
Maybe it doesn't go up there. Oh, they go here. Okay. So that goes here. Triangle goes middle.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, what about the square? Okay, now the triangle. Okay, now turn it. Here we go. Alright. Candlestick.
A big and heavy candlestick. It looks like there used to be two of them.
Okay. Mortar and pestle.
It's a mortar. And a pestle, too. They seem to belong here, but I'll remember where they are in case I need them another time.
Okay. So that's like, you put a block of chalk in there, and you use the mortar. Or use the pestle, to do it up in the mortar to get it into a powder form. Portrait.
The label says Dr. Wolfram von Trauerschloss. So this is the man who brings the dead back to life. He looks as though he would have been handsome once. It's warm. I haven't realized until now just how cold my body is.
Mm-hmm. Note over here.
The doctor is losing it. He's just scribbling down nonsense by now. What will he do if he ever acts on his wild suspicions?
It is clear to me what I must do. I'm now convinced beyond any reasonable doubt that my wife is unfaithful. They still hide it very well, her and that housemaid. But my logical mind tells me there's no other explanation. For countless hours I have pondered the situation, and the more I think about it, the more certain I become that my judgment is correct. These countless hours and hours I could have spent thinking about my work. It is clear to me that I will never be able to fully concentrate on the puzzles at hand as long as my thoughts keep creeping back to my wife and her new lover. This is the very reason that my research is progressing at such an agonizingly slow pace. So it is clear to me what I must do. Belladonna herself is the person who I want back into my life, so I cannot punish her. That leaves her lover, the young maid. She is unimportant, and it is she that must go. I could fire her and throw her out of the household, but I fear this would not resolve anything. The two of them would still know of each other, and they could write secrets. forbidden love letters or meet up at secluded rendezvous. No, it is clear to me what I must do. I must get rid of the maid for good. A plan is already taking form in my head. In the greenhouse out back, I keep a lot of plants and herbs. One of the specimens I have called Deadly Nightshade, an interesting plant with many medical uses, but its renown comes from the fact that its extract is lethal already at small doses. Preparing a powder from this poisonous plant is not at all problematic. Getting the victim to ingest the dose will be a challenge, but I expect to have ample opportunity. They are not aware I know the truth and thus suspect nothing. The maid will fall ill, and within a short time she will die of seemingly natural causes. No one will be of the wiser concerning the true circumstances of her demise. Deadly Nightshade is merely the common name for this plant. Its scientific name is Atropa belladonna. The symmetry strikes me as beautiful. The poor girl strayed too close to the belladonna, and that would be the death of her. So he thinks his wife is cheating with the maid, Claire, or whatever. So yeah, preparing a powder from this plant. So we probably need to collect the plant and then go back to that mortar and pestle and use it to make a powder ourselves. Because you could do that too. Grind up a plant in it. Okay. Alright guys, we will stop this first video here. Hope you're enjoying this one. It's pretty cool. I like this game. Like the character for sure. She's cool looking. So thank you, and I will see you in the next part. Bye.